If you're dealing with bicep pain that won't go away, you need to pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, because if you don't address this correctly, your bicep tendonitis can progress to something much worse, including a complete tendon tear. I'm Dr. Joey Seyforth, physical therapist and online shoulder rehab specialist with Comeback Performance. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what to do before your bicep tendonitis becomes something that requires surgery. We're going to cover 5 key areas that impact how your shoulder functions, how to test that the bicep is the irritated tissue, and give you 4 starting exercises for bicep tendonitis rehab that addresses the root cause, not just the symptoms. But first, let me tell you the 3 stages of bicep tendonitis progression and why you absolutely cannot ignore the warning signs. Bicep tendonitis doesn't just happen overnight. It progresses through 3 distinct stages, and each stage is your body's way of warning you that something bigger is coming if you don't address the root cause. Stage 1 is pain before your workout that improves during exercise. This is your bicep telling you it's overworked, but once you warm up, the pain goes away. Most people ignore this stage because they can work out normally. Stage 2 is pain before and after your workouts. Now your bicep isn't recovering between sessions. The tendon is getting more irritated, more inflamed, and you're starting to notice weakness. Stage 3 is pain before, during, and after your workouts. At this point, you're dealing with significant inflammation, tendon degeneration, and you're one step away from a complete bicep tendon tear. And here's the scary part. Most people don't realize they're progressing through these stages until they hit stage 3. By then, the damage is significant and recovery becomes much more complicated. Here's what every provider is missing. Bicep tendonitis isn't a bicep problem, it's a compensation problem. Your bicep tendonitis is a symptom, not the root cause. Your bicep has 2 heads that assist with shoulder and elbow flexion. But here's what happens. When other areas of your body aren't working how they should, your bicep has to pick up the slack. Think about it like this. If your shoulder blade isn't moving properly, if your thoracic spine is stiff, if your neck positioning is off, your bicep has to work overtime to compensate for all these dysfunctions. This leads to bicep overuse, not because you're doing too many bicep exercises, but because your bicep is being forced to do jobs it was never designed to do. And here's the real problem. Rest isn't the answer, because when you return to activity, your body will continue to move the same dysfunctional way. The bicep will still be overworked, and the tendonitis will keep coming back. This is why my approach is completely different. I don't just treat the bicep tendonitis. I address the 5 key areas that affect how your shoulder functions. When these areas work properly, your bicep doesn't have to overwork and the tendonitis resolves naturally. There are 5 areas that we have to specifically target to not only get rid of the shoulder pain now, but prevent it from coming back in the future. The 2 areas are going to be the neck and also the thoracic spine. If you cannot comfortably extend and rotate in these segments here, the next place that you have to find the motion is going to be the shoulder. Third area to address is going to be the shoulder blade itself, not the down and back cue that's always given in traditional physical therapy, but teaching the shoulder blade to move up and around right here to that 60 degrees. If that's not achieved, we get pinching and irritation in this area. That impingement can be on bursa, which are fluid-filled sacs, or also the rotator cuff as it comes in to attach at that spot. 4th area that has to be addressed is going to be the shoulder itself. Shoulder is a ball and socket joint, meaning it needs to drop, roll, glide, and rotate a full 180 degrees. A problem in traditional medicine is we're given a bunch of strengthening exercises to a shoulder that can't get in half the positions. And then the 5th crucial area to address is going to be any nerve tension or referral that's coming from higher up that's translating into the shoulder. People with this presentation will do all the stretches in the book, go to bed, and when they wake up, all that tightness returns. It's because the area above the shoulder is not being addressed. Now, let me show you how to identify if bicep tendonitis is what you're actually dealing with. I'm going to test your bicep tendon using the speeds test. Stand up and extend your arm straight out in front of you with your thumb facing up. Now push down on your arm while you resist. If you feel pain in the front of your shoulder where your bicep attaches, that's a positive sign. Now, this test shows that the bicep is the irritated tissue, but here's what it doesn't show you. The why your bicep became irritated in the first place. That's where the big 5 areas need to be addressed. If you tested positive for the speeds test, pay close attention to the next section, because I'm going to show you how to address the root causes before your bicep tendonitis progresses to something that requires surgery. Now, I'm going to show you 4 specific exercises that address bicep tendonitis by targeting the root cause in the big 5 system. These aren't just bicep exercises, they're systematic solutions solutions that prevent progression to tearing. Remember, we're not just treating the symptom, we're addressing why your bicep became overworked in the first place. Exercise 1 is a Bel First Rib Mobilization. This targets big 5 area 1 and 5, your cervical spine and first rib positioning with nerve tension. When your first rib is elevated or restricted, it creates a cascade that affects the shoulder and bicep function. Grab a band or a dog leash, sit on the belt, bring it over your upper trap and first rib, using your hands to create tension and pulling down. Next, alternate looking down and in towards the armpit on the belt side, then looking up and out towards the other side. This is mobilizing the first rib and opening up the space for the nerve bundle. You should feel a stretch and mobilization through your upper chest and first rib area. This is creating the foundation that allows your bicep to function properly instead of being overworked. Complete 2 sets of 15 on each side. I know you're struggling with shoulder pain and you obviously want to fix it, so text me the word pain to 720-710-4371 and I'll send you my free shoulder pain fix demo. Now back to the show. Exercise 2 is a wall open book. This targets big 5 area number 2, the thoracic spine mobility and rotation. If your upper back can't extend and rotate, your bicep has to work harder during overhead and pressing movements. Get into a half kneel against the wall, keeping the hip connected. Rotate your hand away from the wall, following your eyes with your hands. Go as far as you can and then return to the start. Take note of the differences side to side with this exercise. Focus on rotating through your upper back, aka your thoracic spine, not just moving your arm. You should feel mobility through your upper back as you open up. This mobilizes your thoracic spine in the exact pattern your shoulder and bicep need for optimal function. Complete 2 sets of 10 on each side. Exercise number 3 is a banded scap angel. This targets big 5 area 3, shoulder blade mechanics. When your shoulder blade can't move through its full range of upward rotation, your bicep has to compensate during overhead movements. With a band anchored in front of you, pull the band back with your elbows extending. Then move into an angel motion, bringing arms out to the side and extending with your biceps by your ear and then returning down. This is focusing on a posterior tilt and external rotation of the shoulder blade. This movement then teaches your shoulder blades to move through their full range of motion, taking pressure off your bicep during overhead activities. Your bicep doesn't have to overwork when your shoulder blade is doing its job properly. Complete 2 sets of 8 of this exercise. Exercise number 4 is a banded uppercut. This targets big area 4, shoulder strengthening and offloading the bicep tendon. You can do this exercise standing or on one knee. Grab a resistance band and keeping your elbows by your sides with your palms facing up, create tension in the band and slowly bring your arms out to the side. From there, lift your arms upward until your elbows reach eye height, and then control the movement as you lower back down. This exercise targets the back of the shoulder blade, an area where weakness is common in those with bicep tendon issues. Here's the key, this isn't just a bicep exercise. You're integrating proper neck positioning, thoracic extension, shoulder blade control, and shoulder joint mechanics while training your bicep to function in a controlled, pain-free pattern. Complete 2 sets of 10, feeling the burn in the back of the shoulders. Now, these 4 exercises don't just treat your bicep tendonitis. They address the root causes in the big 5 system that led to the overuse in the first place. This is how you prevent progression to tearing. With first rib mobs for opening up the neck, first rib, and relieving nerve tension, open books for thoracic extension and rotation to offload the shoulder, banded scap angels for shoulder blade control and teaching proper mechanics for overhead positions, and banded uppercuts for posterior shoulder strengthening and taking pressure off the front of the shoulder and bicep. Here's why this approach prevents progression to tearing when everything else fails. Instead of just resting and hoping the pain goes away, we systematically address the root causes that led to the overuse pattern. Remember those 3 stages of bicep tendonitis? When you address the big 5 areas, you interrupt that progression. Your biceps doesn't have to overwork anymore because the other areas are doing their jobs properly. This is what we call proper load management. Instead of stopping all activity and hoping for the best, you continue to work out with certain parameters while addressing the mobility limitations in the big 5 system. The key is continuing to challenge your bicep in controlled ways while eliminating the compensation patterns that cause the problem. This prevents deconditioning and ensures that when you return to full activity, your body is moving correctly. If you're dealing with bicep tendonitis and you recognize yourself in any of those 3 stages, don't wait until you need surgery. The progression from tendonitis to tearing is preventable when you address the root causes. The 4 exercises you just learned give you a starting point, but true bicep tendonitis resolution requires a comprehensive approach that includes proper screening, identifying which big 5 areas are the problem, and progressing loading that bulletproofs your shoulder. If you're tired of dealing with bicep pain and you've tried things such as physical therapy, chiropractic injections, and you're still having that pain, then text me the word pain to 720-710-4371 4371 to get a tailored step-by-step approach on how to permanently fix your shoulder pain. Our mission at Comeback Performance is to help over 1 million people around the world eliminate their shoulder pain, avoid unnecessary imaging, injections, and surgeries, and get their lives back. After you reach out, please like and subscribe to the channel. We're putting out daily content based on your guys' questions on shoulder-related topics regarding pain and rehab. At Comeback Performance, the comeback is always stronger than the setback.